Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Story 1. Started dating this new girl 2 months ago. We met on POF and she just wanted to casually date at first and wasn't looking for a relationship. But since then, we've gotten a lot closer. We're really into each other and have even admitted to each other that we're basically dating and exclusive to one another. She very clearly agreed with me when I suggested this. She always wants to come over to my place. All of our together time happens at my place. Netflix, dinners, sleeping over, etc. I was only at her place a few times and never for long. Usually only when picking her up or dropping her off. Never a long visit, 15 minutes max. Which was okay with me. She mentioned a roommate, and I assumed it was another woman, and okay, she didn't want to bring a dude back there regularly. She talked about this ex a lot named John. That was a major red flag, of course. He was a Division I college athlete and has a great job, great body, and great car. Which of course no new boyfriend wants to hear about the old boyfriend. But she also said he was a major asshole and didn't care about her and treated her like shit and he can go screw himself. Okay. I told her that I kinda thought she was still in love with him since she talked about him so much, and she got pissed and said she wasn't. She said he broke her heart and she still kinda talks about him but called him a friend. And didn't name him or call him an ex, but I'm not stupid and kinda figured out it was him because context clues. She mentioned her roommate was giving her a ride home from work. She doesn't like to drive in heavy traffic or whatever, and works in the city, so sometimes her roommate will give her a ride there and home. She said they were grabbing dinner on their way home. It was a bar restaurant in the city I really like, with good food, cool atmosphere. This convo followed, paraphrased from memory. Hey, why don't I drive down there? Traffic won't be that bad going into the city. We can have dinner and drinks together down there. I love that place. Her, I don't know, he won't like that. Me, ... Me, who's he exactly? Her, my roommate. Me, your roommate is a guy? Her, yeah, actually John still lives with me. Me, the fuck? This is not cool. Her, it's not that big of a deal and he's just a friend. I ignored her text the rest of the night. She was mostly like, hey, please don't be mad, I can explain. She tried to call once, but I voicemailed her. Finally, we talked the next day, and I got the whole story. They live together in an apartment. He pays for it. When they broke up, she wanted to stay there or couldn't afford to live alone. So they agreed to be roommates, and she pays, from what I can tell, a small share of the monthly rent. He still drives her to work sometimes, and they go out to dinners and bars occasionally, but just as friends. I asked if they were friends who occasionally kissed or screwed, and she said no. They had separate bedrooms, and there weren't benefits, and differences in the bedroom were what started the chain of events that led to them breaking up. I'm not an idiot, and I'm still smelling major bullshit, so I ask why I can't meet him. She says they agreed not to bring new girlfriends and boyfriends around the apartment or around each other. I told her this was really kind of effed up, because if they were both over each other and were just friends, they wouldn't feel weird about bringing new partners around their apartment or whatnot. I said she should have explained this to me earlier because now I felt like I was lied to, and I felt like the other guy. She begged me to stay with her and said it wasn't like that. Despite their history, they were done and through, and she wasn't romantically attracted to him. I was perfect for her, and she thought I was amazing and he was a jackass, and etc, etc. So I keep seeing her. This was a few weeks ago, and we kept on. Why? Am I a dumb doormat? Here's the thing, she's always available. I can pretty much call, text her whenever I want and get a response. It isn't like sometimes she's hiding me from him. If they were dating and I was the other man, it isn't like she's sneaking around. She's free to do stuff mostly whenever we want, and she sleeps over at my place quite regularly, so it's not like she has to rush home to be with him. Plus, he was kind of an asshole sexually. She said sex with him was all about him getting off and he was pretty inconsiderate. He also never wanted kids, ever. And this is what she told me. Said he would force her at gunpoint to an abortion clinic if she ever got pregnant. Classy guy. She kinda wants kids one day, so do I. So I assumed they were romantically incompatible and she had more of a future with me. What led me to make this post? Her cousin got married yesterday. Okay, I understand taking a partner to something like that is a big deal. Meeting the whole family, maybe too soon for us. But she took him and didn't tell me until the last minute. She said she didn't want to pressure me by meeting her whole family so soon, and they already know. I was pissed and told her so. She said he was already expecting to go and she didn't want to say anything. I told her this wasn't cool, and she was seriously testing the boundaries of what I was okay with. She said I was being needy and needed to back off. I gave it 60 minutes, then apologized and asked if she wanted to come over to my place after the wedding to watch Netflix and spend the night. I know it would be like midnight, 1 a.m., whatever. But it was a little bit of a loyalty test, if you will. She said she'll text me as they were leaving. So last night rolls around. I stay up until 1:30 a.m. without hearing from her. Then I get a few barely coherent texts from her. She was super drunk. Said she couldn't drive over to my place and just wanted to go to sleep. I told her I could pick her up and we could hang out, watch TV, and she could tell me about the wedding. No reply. I went to sleep pissed. I don't know. Am I being out of line here? Okay, she lived with this guy, and then they broke up. And economically, she can't live alone. So she stayed with him as a roommate and paid rent. That I can understand. He drives her to work, they go to dinner, drink sometimes. That kind of bends what I'll tolerate, but still acceptable, I guess, as roommate behavior. Then she takes him to a family wedding? This is effed up, right? I should just end this, right? I live alone, and I guess I'm considering basically asking her to put up and shut up and move in with me, or it's over. But that's kind of a shitty ultimatum to make, and we haven't been dating that long. Although she does spend a lot of nights and weekends here. I just don't feel right asking her to move in with me yet, or being like, you must find a new roommate or we're done. Because that does sound totally insecure and clingy. Update 1. I worked up the nerve and messaged John on Facebook, asking if he was dating my girlfriend. It took him until this morning to reply. This was the whole reply. Yeah, dude. I was kind of upset or whatever, so I called her this morning. I asked her again if her and John were dating. She said no, they were broken up, and she said maybe she shouldn't have told me that they had a history. I told her that I messaged him on Facebook and asked he said they were still together. She was mad for a second, then got flustered and started pleading with me. She reiterated that she dumped him and he wasn't over her, and he was pretty clear that he wanted to win her back, and often hit on her or whatever when they were alone, but she said he was just a friend. And she cared about him as a friend, but she wasn't attracted to him romantically. And she doesn't want to torment him by bringing other guys around or whatever. I said I felt like I was a secret in her life and asked about the wedding. She said her sisters and friends know they're broken up, but her parents really like him and don't know yet. I said that was bullshit and unfair, because now if she tells them about me, suddenly they had no time to get over him. And suddenly, I become the asshole guy who pried you away from him. She agreed the whole thing was unfair to me, but she really liked me and I was perfect, made her feel special, and she wanted to be with me all the time and not him. Then she said she sort of loved me. I told her not to say that if she didn't mean it. I told her I had to think about this because I couldn't tell if she was telling the truth or if I was the other guy. She started getting upset and pleading with me to believe her, and I told her we might have to say goodbye, and I needed time to process all this. I don't know what to do. I want to believe her, but at the same time, I'm not sure she's over him entirely or whatever. She still likes her, and actively tells her this and tries to sleep with her. She likes him as a friend. I don't know. How do I know she doesn't come home drunk one night and just give in and sleep with him? Final update. Kind of super bummed because of this and something else, more on that at the end, so this'll probably be short. I sent John another Facebook message, said, well, you know we've kind of been dating as well. Never heard back from him, whatever, screw him. Her and I started talking again, just in text though. It was fairly normal convo for us, and she even said she was glad we got over that, and then more compliments for me. Tonight I called her and said I really liked her, but I can't date her while she lives with him. It's just not cool. I don't think John has good intentions by letting her live there, driving her around and buying her dinner and drinks. She started getting frantic. No, it's not like that. I said I could accept that, but then the wedding and not telling me outright they had a history. Plus John's reply on Facebook, it was too much. I said she was a great chick, and if she moved out, give me a call. She started sobbing, said she couldn't breathe and didn't want to lose me, and she couldn't believe this was the way it was ending. She said she had been spending 2 or 3 nights a week at my place, which is true, and she would rather be there than here. I said if she was asking to move in with me, hell of early, but I figured it would show me her intentions. She said she didn't know and then kept begging for me to stay. I said it wasn't that I don't trust her, I don't trust him. Then I said goodbye and whatever. I believe her. I think she was just a roommate to him, but he obviously wants to get in her pants and whatever. I'm not going to subject myself to this shit. Don't consider reuniting with this woman. If she genuinely wanted to be with you, she would have eagerly seized the opportunity to move in with you and leave the other guy. However, her hesitance to do so suggests that she was trying to keep both relationships going simultaneously. It's clear that she's in full damage control mode, hoping to string you both along. Her behavior shows a level of narcissism, thinking she can maintain both connections. Lose her, man. Comments. The part where you lose me is when you say screw him and that you trust her. I understand that you're upset with this dude that is screwing and wants to screw your girlfriend. But realize he was getting played also, and worse than you. This guy didn't want to break up, didn't think they were really over, is paying rent and taking her out on dates. Meanwhile, she's disappearing and lying to him about where she is and who she's with, and banging some random dude, you. This chick is a lying bitch. Your anger is backwards in my opinion. You aren't upset with her because you have feelings for her, but she's the only problem in this situation. Move on down the road, get the hell away from this chick. They're in each other's pants consensually and mutually. Don't believe a lick of her lies. Given a month, you'll see her jerking around another guy. Glad you left though, don't buy any of it.